I am open to new ideas, new concepts, new beliefs. So I'm very excited to have David Weiss on the show today. Now, he's also known as Flat Earth Dave. He has a very successful podcast, the Flat Earth Podcast, and I have so many questions. So thank you for coming through. First up, I want to know, were you always a Flat Earther, or was there a tipping point that started making you believe?
Well, we're all always flat earthers, whether I knew it or not, is the question. So, when I first heard about flat Earth, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever, and it wasn't until I was forced to go look and try to prove the globe, where it was I able to see the globe lie, as I call it. Flat is not a
Yes.
shape; it's a description of level and horizontal. So, no is the answer. I became a flat earther after extensive research, trying to debunk it.
Right, right, okay. So there's different beliefs out there when it comes to flat Earth. Why don't you believe it's found? What was that? Was it a video? Was it like a something you read online? Was it talking to friends, family, people? How like what was it that made you change your belief?
Um, what it was, I saw a couple videos, and I listen. I don't just believe a video. The video pointed out some things. I was like, "That's interesting," and researching back in 2015, 2016, Google, YouTube would feed you, hey, you like that? Watch this. And they were feeding really good content. And
Yes.
so I started seeing all of the ships over the horizon videos where boats would disappear and then you'd zoom in and you bring them back. Well, on a ball where you're required to have a physical horizon based on the size of the ball, you couldn't zoom these things in. So when we zoom in on a boat that has disappeared and all of a sudden you can bring the whole boat back, that tells you
Mm,
something's wrong.
interesting. So the videos that you talk about as well, I know you've done extensive research, but I've seen a lot of videos, and I will say, I've jumped down the rabbit hole, and it is very fascinating. It starts to make, it makes you think that there are possibly two different ways, different perspectives on it, and they're very convincing. I will say that. But, when it comes to online and people and different beliefs, there's, of course, haters out there and people who like to bring others down. What's kind of your response to that? When people go, this is all lies, flat earth isn't real, how do you respond to all of those people?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. There's a lot of noise when you're speaking, and I didn't hear the question. Could you say it again?
Absolutely. Is this a bit better?
No, when every time you talk, it sounds like a skill saw is running behind you.
Oh no. Let me just see if I can fix it potentially. Just give me one moment.
So, David, I'm curious because you have a podcast, you're online, you talk about flat Earth. Do you get a lot of people who hate on your perspective? And if so, how do you respond?
Yeah, well, there's different types of people out there. There's the anti-flat earthers, the globe trolls. These are people that are either paid or possessed. It doesn't matter either way, and they just basically hang out in listening to stuff that they hate. Like I've never done that in my life. Like I don't like underwater basket weaving. I think it's a waste of time. I don't go to underwater basket weaving channels and troll them. Like I have
Yeah.
dedicated trolls that will show up in your chat and say that I'm a scammer and all this stuff. They'll make all these insults, all of these childhood insults, but they never offer a globe proof. I have a Bitcoin offer, 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. It's been out for 3 years. Nobody has even come close to suggesting anything that proves the Earth is a globe. Then there's other
Oh, I heard
people.
about this. Is this the challenge that you're doing for people who listen to your podcast and
Yep.
people who follow you? You will give three, is it 1 Bitcoin or 3 Bitcoins if someone can prove?
3 Bitcoins for one thing that proves the Earth is a globe. Just one. Simple. If the Earth is a
Wow.
globe, you should be able to prove it, but there is no proof. There is no
So,
proof because we live on a topographical plane.
what's copographical?
Topographical. It has mountains and valleys and stuff, but wherever large bodies of water at rest lay flat. So if the Earth is a ball, 24,901 miles around, like they tell us, there would
Yes.
be a amount of curvature, and we have the formulas for that. And there's no disputing these formulas. At just 3 miles, there's 6 feet of drop. At 100 miles, there's 6,666 feet, or something like 6,600 feet. That's over a mile of curvature. But we can see with today's optics super long distances. Submarines can use sonar and see another submarine at the bottom of the ocean over 100 miles away. There should be a mountain over a mile high in between them. Sonar doesn't
Right.
climb over a mountain, hit a submarine, and then climb back. It goes straight. When it hits something, it bounces back.
So a very famous question in regards to that is, why don't people just fall off if it's flat? There must be a point where someone will just, I don't know, fall off the side of the earth, is
So-
that
The graphic I'm showing here, this is not the flat Earth. Nobody thinks this other than uninformed people that think the flat Earth is, a disc in space. Nobody
Right.
thinks we're a disc in space. And whenever the mainstream media does, a piece about flat Earth where they make fun of it, they always show this disc floating in space, and nobody believes it. That's from the Flat Earth Society, and the Flat Earth Society is you Google images of flat Earth, they come up from there. It's one of the top hits on Google when you search for it.
yeah.
So we're not that at all. So what is the flat Earth? So Antarctica, they tell us, is a continent at the bottom of the ball, right? So here's Antarctica. They tell us it's about
Yes.
13,000 miles around, right? But know what's weird is nobody's ever gone from Santiago over to Australia. They go a much longer route, which I'll tell you. So why don't we fall off the edge? Because this is how the world is set up, basically. We live in a giant pond, a lake. The world oceans are a giant lake. And what does a pond, a lake, a puddle need to hold its water in? It needs land that's consistently higher than the surface of the water. That's the
Right.
container. So Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. Now, the exact configuration of Antarctica, we don't know because we're not allowed to go beyond 60 degrees south. They'll stop us. Okay.
Right.
There's naval bases all around. There's 8 of them all the way around the Earth, and anyone that goes over 60 degrees south is stopped and turned around. So
Right.
we live in the Antarctic basin, period. What's out here in the outer space? That's a great question.
Yeah, well, that's very fascinating. I'm curious, David, have you lost any friendships along the way or relationships because of your beliefs?
There are people that aren't ready to, be unplugged from the matrix, so to speak. The matrix is a prison for your mind. It's the globe. They don't want their to understand who they truly are, where they are. So yes, I have lost some friends, but I've gained so many new, high quality, alert, awake, aware friends.
Yeah, a new community as well, I can imagine. That's great. And I'm curious about NASA and, space exploration. Do you have any comments on that? And whether you believe it's based on any fact or it's real? Because a lot of images keep coming out too on the daily.
Well, NASA, what you have to understand is, Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist that was supposedly brought over here from Russia to start NASA, was best friends with Walt Disney. And when you look at the stuff they put out together, you can tell they're faking. So if I showed you some proof that they're faking stuff on the ISS, you can unwind that all the way to we never went to the moon and no one's ever been to space, because we don't believe space exists the way they
Right.
tell us. You can't have a vacuum next to high pressure air that's surrounded, that has water and a rock underneath it. We live on a rock surrounded by water, surrounded by air, adjacent to a void, a vacuum, no pressure. That's scientifically impossible, right? And they go, well, gravity holds the air down. That's nonsense. We can do many experiments to show you that gravity does not hold the air down. I can just drink with a straw and it can pull water and air up and away from gravity with just the weak low pressure of my mouth and lungs.
Right. So are you saying that the images, because recently there was all these images circulating the internet with the new images from the telescope. Are those are those photoshopped perhaps, or are they fake? What's your opinion on those?
Yeah, it's not just an opinion. It's unbelievable what a deception that is. Let me just pull that up real quick. James Webb, here we go. So
Because there was quite a few.
Yeah, so this is hold on, where did it go? This is me in a simple free program that costs a simple free program, making a image that looks just as real as James Webb. Matter of fact,
Wow.
we took a scientist, a guy that totally believes in space and everything, and we showed him James Webb the images and mixed mine, and he couldn't tell them apart. He couldn't tell them apart.
Wow.
This is what they're showing us. It's absolute and total nonsense, right? Think about this.
That looks pretty real. I will say that much. Wow.
Yeah, well, I made
very...
that right in front of you.
You did that. Oh, and is that you?
That is me in space. Okay, so I did that just to show how easy it is to
yes,
to do that. So here, let me just quickly show you. This is the James Webb telescope right here, and
yes.
This is it deploying from the rocket. This is what they show us. Now, is this real? Okay, look at this.
It looks real.
Yeah, well, it looks real. So let's go to where it goes a little farther. I'm going to just jump forward. It's moving away, and now here it goes. And now look at the camera. It's glitching out. Now, it's right here in Earth orbit. It's right here. The Earth is, well, where's the Earth? Where's the Earth? It'll come back any second, right? Here it is, and they're losing contact with it right here. Oh, look, there's the Earth all of a sudden. And it goes a little bit farther, and it starts deploying right here. It's deploying one of the mirrors. They're forgetting that this thing now has to go 1,000,000 miles away and park itself in what they call a Lagrange point. What's a Lagrange point? That is where the Earth's gravity and the sun's gravity meet, and both are pulling on you equally. And they're telling us they could park a craft there. They can park a satellite there, right?
Okay, I will say, like looking at that plus the picture, I'm a bit shocked, but I have a lot of other questions in terms of all the different flat Earth theories that are out there. So stick around. You're with me on Kate, and of course David Weiss, and I will be asking him, well, some theories that are floating around. We're going to be debunking them. Well, I'm not, but David's going to help me. It is Fact or Cap, Flat Earth edition. Stick around for that. You're listening to Cater.
Hey team, can we please reset the Zoom? It's about to run out.
Oh yes, 3 minutes.
Dave,
you want to send me another Zoom link?
Yeah, we'll just.
Yeah, so it's just the same meeting room and ID number.
Oh, the same link. I just jump out and come back.
It's just the same link. Sorry, it's just about to run out, and we don't want it to cut off on you.
You got it. I got it. No problem. Coming back.
I'm here with David Weiss, also known as Flat Earth Dave, and we're going to be playing a round of Fact or Cap, but Flat Earth edition. Now, I have some questions here. So there is a belief that Australia isn't real and that we are paid actors. Is this fact or cap?
This is a mainstream media gaslighting of flat earthers. No flat earther believes Australia doesn't exist. We've been there. Yes. We have friends there. There's tons of flat earthers in Australia.
And I'm definitely not getting paid as an actor,
so,
which is very sad.
But that's something that that ran on everywhere. They're going up. Flat earthers don't believe the Earth don't believe Australia exists. No flat earther thinks that. Only people that have false information about flat earthers believe that we believe that.
Right. Okay. So it is cap. Now, we touched upon this earlier on, but the edge of the world is in Antarctica, and that's why it's hard to go there. Fact or cap?
Well, Antarctica, the shoreline of our world ocean, we don't know what's beyond there. Some people think the dome might terminate. Other people think that it just goes on farther and farther. And there might be other ponds out there very close to Earth, to our pond. So when you think about it, if in Antarctica, if you went to the outside of where we are, maybe we're here, maybe we live here. This ring is Antarctica, and out here is extra land, more land, extra territory.
Right, that hasn't been found yet.
If somebody came to visit us, what might we consider them from the extra terra?
Aliens.
Extraterrestrial.
Yes.
and where are they coming from? The outer space. Right here across the Earth plane. Right?
Right. Okay.
Ready? Just one more. This one will blow your mind. What if we lived here in this pond? And these are other ponds. and they're all here across the
Wow.
plane. So these are pieces of the plane, small sections of the plane. What do you call a piece of a plane? A planet.
A planet. So it's cap.
It's unknown. I believe
Unknown.
there's more land. I believe there's more land. There's lots of evidence. There's lots of books from old books as early as the very early 1900s about people that have gone through an opening in the ice wall and ended up at more land and lived there and then came back to tell about it. Where
Wow.
there's
I actually
advanced
have
civilizations here.
I have heard those stories actually. I saw a video about that. That's very interesting. Now, the final one, you can, and I've asked this, but you can fall off the side of the earth. Fact or cap? I think I know what you're going to say on this one.
I have another word for it, but we'll just say cap because when you fall off the edge of a lake, when you go to the edge of a lake, you don't fall off, you step up onto the land. Then you start walking
Yes.
away from that lake. The lake's behind you. What if you come across another
Yeah.
lake? That's a whole nother world.
Wow.
Here.
There's so much to it. It's honestly, it's very, very fascinating. Thank you so much for joining, Dave. But, obviously a lot of people, I'm sure, are curious to find more information. I know that you have a website, flatearthdave.com. You also have an app. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the app bypasses Google censorship. Here's my challenge. Get the app, and every day there's a new featured video. Watch it every day for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, guaranteed, you're not going to believe the globe anymore. But if you have any questions, you hit the frequently asked question button, and up come all the questions you're going to ask. Like, hey, what
Wow.
about eclipses? What about seasons? And these are videos that Google doesn't want you to find. You won't find these. Like if I click what about ships over the horizon, up comes a bunch of videos showing you, explaining, and letting you do the experiment yourself. But these videos won't show up in a Google search because they don't want you to see them. These are, this will enlighten you and let you see. The biggest thing is why the lie, right? We don't really have enough time to get in it, but I got why the lie right here. Why the lie will blow your mind. It will change your life forever. If you just click that, the app is $3. Okay. There's a $11 a year subscription if you want to be able to message other people and stuff on it. But you don't have to get that. You don't even have to get the app. Just go to flatearthdave.com, take the Flat Earth crash course free on the website, watch those videos, and then you'll know. Then you'll know how big the globe lie is and how important it is. When I first heard about this, I said, what difference does it make? I still have to go to work. I had my own, right? What difference does it make? Well, guess what? I don't go to work anymore. But I'm working harder than I ever worked. They say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's very true. I can agree with that one. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I'll definitely check out the app. And I'm sure we'll talk soon.
FlatEarthDave.com. Thanks.
Bye, Dave.
Bye-bye. Thanks.